Everyone to worship. Oh, every praise, every praise to our God. Sing
I've always said to myself that I don't want anything to come between me, my wife, and my mom. And a few weeks ago, for the first time in 25 years, my wife called me and said, this and this happened between me and my mom. And I was driving, and I sat down, I was pondering on what to do. Now my question is this: how does a man deal with a situation knowing that on one side, this is the person that brought him into the world, on the other side is the person who is married to? What would you do to deal with that situation?
I think the space where your mom is on the side that you shouldn't go through to your wife. So if both of them have a conflict, I think you shouldn't actually put blames on each of the sides. You should just look into how you can resolve it and then bring both of them together in love. Hammering on it that if your mom really loves you, definitely she will definitely see how she wants to go along with your wife. And then you just let your wife knows that if she really loves you, she should look into how she can go along with your mom too. Your mom cannot be 100%, and also your wife cannot be 100%. So I just think you just have to use wisdom to play between both of them, just for you not to have hell losing the whole house. Thank you.
Let's just be as real as possible, especially dad. A wife I just told you, I have a problem with your mom. What will be the reaction? Men.
Uncle Paul, is your mom here permanently or she's on holiday and she's leaving soon?
They're thinking of it.
Yes, sir.
She's on holiday.
How long is she staying for? Sorry, quickly answer that one. September, June, July. I have to work. If she will stay for just 3 weeks or a month, you talk to your wife, try to get her to just manage and settle until she's gone. That's what I would do. Or else, it will just continue.
Praise God. If they're not talking.
They're not talking.
They're not talking.
What happened?
Leave them. They'll come back. Honestly, if the two parties are not talking, ask them what is happening. No one's talking. You go your way. You're neutral.
There's nothing you can do. They're not talking.
Precisely. If they're not talking, there's nothing until they talk to you. Until they speak out, you can't act. You carry on your normal life. You love both of them. You're not biased.
Sorry, brother. Is this the first time that this had happened?
First time.
The first time, very first time. And has mom been coming to England regularly before now? And staying with you. And there had been no complaint, no problems between them.
That means there's a major problem.
There is none. then in that instance, I think what we need to talk about is that considering the age of mom, yeah, sometimes to put up with elderly parents is a bit a challenge.
Exactly.
But at the same time, your wife is your wife. Your wife has taken mom as her own mom. If that had happened between your wife and her mom, what would she do? And then what I would ask you to do is at least apologize on behalf of mom. It's only your wife that can sort this out between mom. They're friends. I've seen it. I know they're friends. But Sister Pauline, you can go back to mom and say, Mom, I'm your daughter. Whatever had happened, it has happened. Now take me back as your daughter. She's an elderly lady. Sometimes I deal with elderly people in the community. But at the same time, if you know that being an elderly parent, they can do and undo. It's we that we just have to be patient. You are the wife, but you love your husband, you love your children, you love your home. And my brother, you have another sisters in this country. Maybe it's getting to a stage that
Mommy has to go and live.
mommy needs to go, maybe go to another sister of yours for a time being and then come back. You have at least 3 of them. You can always share mom. Every weekend, go to another sister of yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all the contributions you made. One of the most important things is I cannot choose between my mom and my wife. I cannot sit on the fence between them as well. So what I have to do is ask for wisdom. So remember I said I was driving. When I heard that, I wanted to crash because I'm thinking, this is serious. My mom is not someone that really likes to make problems. But on that day she did, okay? Maybe it's the age. And I was expecting her to come to me and tell me this and this. So every time I come back from work and she's not back from work, I go and sit down with my mom. Maybe she's gonna tell me something. She said nothing for 2 weeks. So I waited for her one day to come back and I was in the house. Both of them, and I said, come, sit down here. Of course the face, as beautiful as it is, sometimes when she puts it, it looks really, really bad. I'm scared of it. And it was like that on that day. And I said, what's the matter? Mom said her own, she said her own, mom said her own, she said her own. And I decided, I said, listen, I think it's a matter of misunderstanding. Now, I said to my mom, she has taken you like your mother, like her mother. She treats you like her mother. She takes you everywhere like her mother. She actually does things that your daughters will not do for you, as a mother would do. So, as far as I'm concerned, she's your daughter. But what happened was she came in that day, I didn't explain what she did. She came in one day and said, good evening, Mrs. Shweton. And my mom said, you're calling me by name. You can't call me by name. This is not my tradition. And she comes from a place where she can call her mom Mrs. whatever. That's her tradition, okay? So that was the issue. There was no big issue, okay? So I said to my mom, you need to understand, please listen, you need to understand that she's understood your tradition. She calls you mom. They don't do that in their culture. She calls my dad dad. That's not their culture. Of course she's African, but she's from Gabon. It's different. So you have, so far, I said for 25 years you haven't understood this woman's culture, and she's been able to understand yours. I said it's wrong. And I told her to apologize to my mom. And my mom said, I'm not having it. And I said, well, there's 2 choices for you. It's either you take her as your daughter, or you take her as a daughter-in-law. I said both of them she will agree to. Because right now she wants to take you as a mother-in-law. And that will mean that maybe sometimes she will not talk to you, maybe sometimes she won't greet you. I said, is that what you want, at least your age? And she said, no. I said, be friends. And then when I finished with mom, I took her to the room. I spoke to her, I said, listen, I know you could do better. Even though I know she's offended you, I know you can do better. Of course, but the following day, what did she do? She went to the shop. She bought my mom a lot of slippers. And after that, they were cooking together. And everything is fine. Glory to God. Thank you.
That solves it. And if yours is more complicated, pray for wisdom. because sometimes problems don't get solved just like that. Thank God that one gets solved. Some even get solved quicker than we even know. It could be worse that up to now, after 3 months, it may still be unresolved.
I've always pondered this, but I don't know. I hope you understand the question I'm trying to ask.
If you ask in English.
I definitely cannot ask in Yoruba.
Latin or German.
Right, so a man has a ministry and meets a woman along the way that has a ministry of her own.
So they told them how independent.
That they have independent ministry. So if the man shares the vision with the lady shares the vision with the man. So who gets priority of,
I like this.
you know, of vision? Because the man has a ministry where he goes around the world. He goes around the world and wants the woman by his side. But the woman has a ministry of her own and wants to attend to her ministry. So what happens?
They're not married yet.
They're not married yet, but they're planning on going.
Okay, don't worry.
Yes.
I believe it has to be a compromise. She's doing something, you're doing something. You can't ask someone to kill their dreams because of you, and they can't ask you to kill your dreams because of them. So it has to be a compromise.
How do you come to
Sometimes she can go along with him on his trips, and other times he can as well.
Okay, thank you, Rotimi.
Praise God. Hallelujah. First and foremost, it is
Please,
God.
sorry, let's be attentive, please.
It is God who has brought the vision to the man and to the woman. If God takes a priority to have created a man, and from the man, the woman came forth. Yes, that is what it is. From a man, a woman came forth. That is from the race. A white or a black person or from another town or this city. But in this aspect, if God should even have to say this is what he wanted, that the man should be going about for his own work, I think it is the priority that has to take place. God says it is of the woman that she has to take care of the house and what she has to do with her own family. It is what we just have to. But the primary thing in the whole thing is God is the essence, is the decider that decides everything. Thank you very much, sir.
God called the man, he gave him a vision, that was so. And when God created man, he created the woman as a helper to fulfill the man's vision. So if the man is a traveling evangelist, he needs somebody to be by his side 24 hours. That's it. So if the woman can choose to say, okay, I cannot collapse my own ministry into your own ministry, they may have problems in future. If the man is going to say, oh no, you have your own ministry, I'm going to have my own ministry, I'll do my own, you do your own. It may not, it can, but 80% of the time, it may not work. So my own view is that as long as God called the man, and the man knew that he has the vision from the Lord. It's the Lord that spoke to him about the vision. I think the woman should be able to collapse her own ministry into his husband, to her intended husband's ministry. So that's my own suggestion. That's why I say it might be controversial. But I mean, submission, go and look into the Bible, submission from the wife to the husband is 100%. Is 100%.
There are some things we will never agree on 100%. That's okay.
I just want to use my hard case as an example, because what I think, the vision that we are talking about, who is actually the author of that vision? Now, we started ministry. I can't say, my wife has an independent ministry of singing. She gets invitations. I can't sing it. I don't sing. I try. And you know that. He knows that. But the ministry of your wife or your husband is a subset. It's inside it. But what most of us want to do is want to advertise individual. It's self-glorification. If you want to look deep into it, it's not I've been going to Ankara. No. It's a one ministry. It's not. You're not going to preach about devil. You are going to bring about Jesus. So if you are singing, it's about Jesus. Coming together, complementary. So if you're going to do ministry, it's an individual. Listen, you just died before your time. I'm sorry today.
One of the challenges I've seen that most people have is the spouse not recognizing the ministry of whoever you're married to. You must also recognize, because some men also are insecure. Yeah. I'm sorry to say that when they get married to somebody who they know has been called, they'll do everything to trample that person and to make sure that she's not fulfilled. So it may be a problem. So the man in particular must recognize that this woman has got a ministry, and our coming together should make her fulfilled. It should not be to kill, oh, now you have your ministry, you have to submit, so your ministry should die. Your ministry must even grow more. So, for example, praise the Lord. For example, there are times when my husband gets an invitation, we plan the program together, and he says, oh, you take 30 minutes, I take 15 minutes. So I don't feel like I'm being trampled upon. I don't feel like, oh, being married to you has killed my ministry, because it will not make me fulfilled. So I think that's something also to take note of.
We have two schools of thought now. You see, it's not allowing me to speak with this life. Just don't blindfold me. Not everything is black and white all the time. There are times there may be a very, very, very super conflicting issue in ministry. That if care is not taken, it can ruin the relationship. So if you are not married yet and both of you have ministry, that's fantastic. Iron it out before you get married. Somebody is living in Birmingham, another person is in London. He has a ministry to the poor people, specifically some poor people in Birmingham that God has called her into. The man is here in London. How will she continue to fulfill her ministry in Birmingham if that is exactly where God has called her to? And yet, the man is insisting, when we get married, you must come to London. So don't be thinking, okay, when I get married, everything will be sorted. Sort it out. There are actually times that the woman's ministry will become a subset of the husband, where she can find her fulfillment. Whereas the original ministry she has, she may not even be able to continue with it. But there can be a replica of that in the new ministry she has come to. Bearing in mind that the man is a godly man, is a self-confident man, he's not threatened by the woman's giftings and ability. The man should even help the woman to find her ministry in the new ministry the two of them are having together. So it is not all the time that the woman's original ministry will continue when she gets married. Because sometimes geography and other things, supposedly the woman has a ministry like we are saying, and the man has an evangelistic ministry and has to travel around all the whole world. And the man is insisting, my wife, you need to follow me for the sake of my security and sanity. So that woman's ministry will not continue, really. So we just have to strike a balance.
Let me make myself clear, please. I'm not saying the woman's ministry should die. I use the word collapse into that. The two should be merged together. My wife, she goes everywhere ministering. I don't have that gift. but I always support her. So what I'm saying is that they shouldn't have independent ministry.
That's right.
That the man is doing his own, the woman is doing her own. The two should be married together, complemented.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying, please. Don't get me wrong.
Amen. Even if you have said the extreme, you will still be right. I'm telling you, that's what I've just said. There are times that it may even be the man's ministry that will fold up. That is the extreme case, depending on God's leading. But in most cases, if one has to fold up, most of the time, it has to be the woman's ministry. So she can find her fulfillment and her identity in her husband, if that is the case. But in most cases, with the wisdom of God, with the grace of God, with confidence in the woman and in the man, they can always bring the two together. So that the two ministries can now become one.
When I look at in the days maybe 30 years ago when our elders get married and stuff like, some of them are not even 100% believers as we do right now. But on a higher percentage, most of them get it right. Like they're doing fine in their marriages. If not, I tend to look at it that maybe it's as if there's not much of social influence then that makes the submission and then love of the family. Like, I mean, the father loving the wife and the children so much, and also the wife also replicating, submitting, and doing such. Now, I look at it in today's world when it comes to like the world generally, and also Christians, brothers and sisters. Sometimes I find it confusing that why is it like amongst ourselves, even as Christians or non-Christians, why is it that relationships don't really work much compared to even when some people got married that they were not really 100% born again?
But they didn't have much knowledge of the Lord.
Yeah, is it that the grace is sufficient then, or maybe now the social media and then...
Thank you. So don't give us a clue to the answer. Okay. In those days, people didn't know much of God, and their marriages are more successful than today in the church, when we even claim to know more of God.
1 minute, 1.5 minutes. I want to believe that in those days, if I'm not wrong, our mothers were much more submissive to our fathers. That's why. Why do I say that? Now in these days, social media has taken place. And even in bedrooms, our mobile phones take the places of our wives or our husbands. But in the time past, our mothers would dare not do that. And so you see the difference lies because we have turned our attentions away from where it should be to where it ought not to be. So that's why we're having this conflict now. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah. Pastor, listen. Thank you for being direct and straight to the point. Let's copy this example where everybody's speaking.
I would say, if God has made the man and the woman, we might see ourselves different. People looking at you see a man and a woman, but both of you, you are one. And once one, things has to be together. So if the ministry of the woman or the ministry of the man has to come together to be one, and that is the understanding. And if we say that in those days what was obtainable is not being happening now because of the social media or whatever, my brother, it's because you have left the Bible, and God knows the essence of why He brought the two of you together.
Thank you. People are non-channeled today. People value relationship more at that time. Today it's me and my husband. In those days, even though it's you and your husband, but your marriage is the whole family's affair. I have my blood sister here. In our family, right? If I'm married as I'm married to my wife now, if I continually mess her up and my family got to know that I'm at fault, they will send a representative. After a sort of warning and I refuse to behave, they will come and flog me for messing up. Really, my family. They will be the one to take it upon themselves to come and deal with me for messing up with my family.
Woman, They both said that the Lord has spoken to them. But the woman is insisting that the man should lose weight. And she's basically saying that, well, I like my husband to lose weight because when we go out to parties, I don't want to go to parties with a man with a big belly.
That was after they got married?
Yeah, yes. Basically.
Did the man quickly put on the weight after marriage?
No, he had the weight. And then, yeah, something like that, yes. And she basically told him, point blank, that I wouldn't like to go to a party with a man with a big belly. She told him that.
Okay.
Yes, but obviously, that had been an issue. So I was thinking that, well, if you said God has spoken to you regarding somebody to marry, that shouldn't you accept the person the way they are? And even if you decided that they should, you felt that the man should lose weight, and if he could not lose the weight, wouldn't she be able to accept him as she is? There was the point.
I just think it's vanity. I mean, if you refer to the weight issue. However, there's also the health side of it as well. I think it's the approach.
Yeah.
And the Yorubas will say, "Belelabo, olako." You know, I can't literally interpret it. So it's the approach, it's the manner in which it is presented.
Praise the Lord. I really agree with my sister. That lady is doing a good thing. Encouraging the husband to lose weight. She's not threatening, if you don't lose weight, I will divorce you. She's not saying that. She's saying, if you don't lose weight, I won't go out with party, but at least she can still be going to other places. So what the woman is looking for is something to really arrest the man's attention. Because they must of necessity love going to party. The fact that they were married when they were both-bedded doesn't mean that it's not God's will. Listen, brethren, it doesn't mean it's not the will of God, it's the will of God. But you know, you can be the will of God and be a bone in your spouse's neck. That doesn't make you not God's will. This is happening to from a woman to a man. In most cases, it's always from the man. The divorce, all this fatty. I do something. Most of the time, it is the men who insult women. Now, one woman out of 1,000 is talking, and all of us want to slaughter. So she's saying the right thing, but in a very bad way. Tell her to change her tactics. Tell her to change her tactics and approach. Oh, man, I fed you. Put on some weight. I've done a good job. I said, you're supposed to be going to the gym, you know. Say it in a lovely, fantastic manner. Is that okay? Oh, baby, you will look even better. With a better, you know, I think I'm going to reduce your food. Just say it in a very joking manner. You can say the truth in a very, very joking manner. The man will laugh to the gym. Better than slapping the woman and I'm still not going to the gym. In Africa, they said, when a man is beating you, somebody can be singing for you and he will slap you. The person can be singing the same song and you are dancing. Somebody can be saying your head is not your head, or your head is big. Your head is big. Your head is big. I'm putting some rhythm and you are dancing. The same person can say, look at his head, it's so big. The person is saying the same thing, but in a different manner. You understand?
Real life situation. My sister.
Don't worry, she's not here.
Her husband one time like that, the husband was like, so she doesn't want to be, like me, pastor's wife. I don't want that.
Okay.
And before we knew it was becoming trouble. They can't stand each other anymore. The husband was like, no, me, I want to have my own ministry. She's like me. I don't want to be seen as pastor's wife. Me, being seen as Dupe is okay for me. In that situation, now, they are having issues. They are not staying together. Yeah, they are not staying. They have two boys.
Up to now.
Yeah.
Pastor Baker, please come because that's how you raise up your hand.
So, and then, quickly, sir, if you allow me, sir, talking about the weight of a thing. If you know what you want. For me now, I know I cannot put up with someone that is big because I'm of the big side. I have a tendency. Me, I'm talking about if you know what you, as a guy, if you know what you want in a lady, I mean, it's simple. For me now, I'm of the big side, so I cannot put up with a lady that's big. So yeah, fine. So for me, I have a tendency, forget it. So I cannot put up with a lady that is big. She has to be.
If you insist on that and you are very, very strong on that, are you married yet?
No.
It's dangerous for you because it can close some doors for you. Because the person God has for you may be from the big side. No, I'm not joking. You're a Christian. It's good to have ideas and ideals. You know what the Bible says in the book of Ezekiel? God said the elders of Israel have come to me with idols in their heart. And God said, I will answer them according to the idols of their heart. It's good to have that as an opinion and as a prayer point. But don't be too strong about it. So as you do that, say, Lord, I will have loved it. And if you somebody like if you're not careful, you can actually target a petite lady and marry. You don't know what she will become in future when after 2 or 3 children. God may add amazing grace to her from size 12. He's not listening. You are not. You marry size 10 like my wife. Don't think that every woman will remain like that. You don't even know what I'm doing to her to remain. Better come and learn from me. Better come and learn from me. But if you marry, listen, if you marry a size 10 lady and you think, wow, I've gotten her, and you actually even investigated her, you discover that our mother, our grandmother, they are petite. After 2 or 3 children, God may add amazing grace from size 12 to size 20. What will you do? Will you do? So be very careful about that. Now let's listen to your first question. Please be attentive.
They're already married.
But they're not living together.
They're not living together.
Because of that.
Okay, my advice to the man, I think is now the man has to resolve the situation. My advice to him is that if God had actually called him, I'm not saying somebody that's appointed as a pastor, and the pastor say, oh, go and start a parish somewhere. But if God had called him, he should go back to God and tell him exactly the situation he is in presently. God can eventually change the heart, speak to the woman, even in her dream, talk to her and persuade her to go into the ministry with her husband. But if God has not spoken to him to go and start a parish, I will advise him for now, step back, be with the wife, continue with what the two of you are doing presently, and until God speaks to the woman, because you're going to, unless if the person is ready to divorce, which is against the will of God. So my advice is for him. If God had called him, let him go back to God, pray, fast, and ask God, please, just convince this woman that you have called me to this ministry. It is going to happen. But if God has not called him, if this is pastor or someone that's convinced him to go and start a parish, let him just withdraw for now, for the sake of his family.
I mean, I love that. Let the man, because most of the time it is the man who belongs to, whether you like it or not, God has called me, I'm going for it. Take that advice. Don't just say I'm going for it. Don't ruin your home because of your impatience. But you remember in our discussion about decision making, you remember what we discussed? And seek counsel, pray, seek other people's opinion, and don't make decision without considering your wife's welfare. And you as a woman too, don't insist on your decision against God's purpose for your husband. So let that be a compromise.
I didn't miss this opportunity. I have a scenario of a matured single. When I say mature, I mean mature, like 48. And she has still got problem of choice at this moment. So I don't know whether you can help to just throw more light. As in when she's been introduced to, like, having a relationship or telling, maybe like a pastor like comes around now that, oh sister, have you been praying? Oh, I've been praying, and she's not really coming forth, but I have somebody for you. And the pastor was really like sure of it. But by the time the lady sees the guy, it's just like, I'm sorry, I can't go. So I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4 times like that, and she's still like that, and she's still 48.
What will you say?
If somebody keeps rejecting, number one, I will ask why. Why is she rejecting? Is there anything that she's doing? And sometimes it could be spiritual, that she may not be aware of. Why she's still single. Some situations are like that. And what I would say is that the person should be open-minded, because I do say that to some singles who come to meet me to say, look, I've been waiting on the Lord, this person has come, he's like this, he's like this. And I say to them, number one, there will never be a perfect person. But you just have to, once you pray to the Lord, believe that the right person will come, the peace of God will guide you, His word will guide you, but don't look at the person from the face value. To say, he's too short, he's too tall. What about the other inner qualities you do not see? Because there's certain things we cannot see on the physical. So we are put off by what you've seen face value, not considering what the person is in themselves. So it's about encouraging this person to look beyond what they are seeing. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. If you are too choosy, you might miss the actual one that is meant for you. We had ministration about considering things, asking opinion. We've got people in the kingdom now that are single. It's not because God wished them to be single, but it's because of their mistake. That if you ask them questions like if God permits time to go back, they will have said, oh, I shouldn't have let go that one. You understand? I've got a case. Now she's single. Our own problem is temper. Anybody that comes to her, say, look at you. You look at myself. Pride. And at the age of nearly 50 something, she's still single. So, who raised the question? Okay.
It's not her.
Oh yeah, it's somebody else.
This is the husband.
And sir, man, do you know there is another thing? There can be some spirit behind.
Please, last question, yes?
Okay, there's a matured lady in her 50s. She's seen a man and he wants her to move in, to be living with him. And she said, I can't move in with you until, because she's a Christian, until we are wedded. So she asked him to come and see her family, and he's stalling. He hasn't got the confidence because he hasn't got a good job. So that's what he's saying.
He said.
Yeah, he said to her. Yeah, that's what he said to her, that he hasn't got a good job. How would they look at him? Advice, please.
One, I think it's, I would say he has a very high level of insecurity. The job doesn't matter as long as the woman is willing to accept him. Secondly, just from the point that he should not move in with her until they get married. And above all, his self-confidence is key. Because even if my wife is a millionaire tomorrow, by God's grace she is, that money is mine. It's as simple as that. There's no negotiation, there are no negotiations on that. Thank you very much.
When I got married like 10 years ago, I was very close to just entering my 30s or so, and that scripture kept coming to my head. For this reason, a man. So irrespective of what I can give Christian, irrespective of his job, the day I did my introduction, on my way back from Benin to Abuja, I got a text, you have been fired. And I have 7 months now to prepare for my wedding. And I'm just coming back and I've been told that I've been fired. For what reason? Nothing. And then I was jobless, getting ready to get into marriage. But I had to raise my head high. That qualifies you as a man. Praise the Lord.
I love where Brother started. Among the second point or sub point you read, it is absolutely wrong. You remember in our discussion about decision making, don't make easy decision to get out of the situation. If it involves suffering and pain, endure it, endure the pain, endure the suffering. They are part of Christianity. Say, yea, 2 Timothy 1:12. Yea, and all those who will live godly life in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution. That's part of your own persecution. That's part of your own carrying your cross. It's hard, it's difficult, it's not easy, but go through the process. So tell her she must never compromise to go to that man's house. And then encourage, maybe the woman too, we are not even examining her. Maybe she's also the kind of person you must get a good job. Maybe she's the kind of person who wants to torture the man for not having a good job. We don't know, but they can solve the problem. Let them go for counseling. Hallelujah. Amen. Now, that's it. This topic. Actually, we have been on it, just that we didn't announce it. All these question and answer, they are part of the solution to how do we solve difficult problems in relationship. There are difficult problems. So the first the teaching we have is part of it. The question and answer is part of it, because all these questions, they are difficult problems. Can we mention 5 difficult problems in marriages? Yes, 5 difficult problems. Just in relationship. 5 difficult problems you may encounter. Yes, just say it loud. Lack of understanding. Lack of understanding. Yes. Poverty. Financial challenges. The problem of in-law or the third party in marriage. How many have we mentioned? 3. Number 1, lack of understanding, financial difficulties. The third party in relationship. Yes.
Lack of communication.
Lack of communication. Yes, another one. Sex. Who says sex? You need to be born again. Hallelujah. Even woman, even that lady is personally sex. Well, how did I find myself in this kind of a place? Am I in the right place? Among the children of God, sex, all over the place? You better talk about it so you don't be in trouble. There are so many challenges in relationship. One good thing, I would have said let's stop, but because I have just 2 more minutes to round it up. Any of these problems, somebody say any, and all, they can all be solved. One of the greatest keys that I've discovered to solving all major problems is communication. Most problems are actually caused for lack of communication. Most sexual problems among married couples, when we talk of sex among Christians, we're talking of between husband and wife. For those who are not married, the Bible says keep yourself pure until the day you get married. Do we agree with that? Yes. Thank you. But for those who are married, communication. My husband, I don't like the way you do it. What is it? You are too much in a hurry. Your body is already shaking and shaking. Cool it down. Your body is vibrating. You know, a lady was talking to me just this week. Say, my husband is so rough. He will not even consider me. Anytime the matter comes, he just goes to the Holy of Holies. He doesn't know anything about playing. And I said, your husband is a bushman. He needs to be tutored. I said, what you have to do, go and talk to your husband. This is the damage you are doing, and give him suggestion or give him a book. Or tell him, go and see Pastor Raphael. Then I will tutor him. I remember one man came to one man some time ago. He was having problems in our church. God gave me the grace to tutor him, gave him some instruction. And he went home. And then he finished the job on the wife. And the wife said, have you been watching pornography? The man said no, it was Pastor Raphael who taught me. You know what happened? The lady came, said, Pastor Raphael, I was so scared. I said, I'm in trouble today. He said, was it true you taught my husband this? With my voice shaking and trembling. I said, yes. He said, please go and teach all men. Not because our men are evil. I have men like every man here. We are fantastic. We are spirit-filled. We love God, but many times we are just ignorant. And the ignorance is not our fault. It's because we thought women are like men. And if the man has not been exposed to teachings like this before, all that the woman has to do is sit the man down, give him good food. Good food. and then sit him down and say, oh, baby, I don't want to say honey because it's not me and my wife. Hey, my husband, this and this and this is the way you are doing it. It's not nice. It's not nice. Teach the man. This is how to do it. You can even practicalize it. You can make yourself a guinea pig for that night. No, this is how to do it. And from there, problem will be solved. If it is financial problem too, you may not have money now, but just cooling down your spouse. Don't worry, God will take over. We are working on it. Too many problems can be solved. Like our brothers share with us a practical issue between a wife and mother-in-law. Communication solves the problem. If that communication has not taken place, it is enough to mess up your marriage. It is enough to cause a lifelong bitterness between you and your mom or between you and your wife. But communication. So let's learn to talk. And when you want to talk, create a lovely atmosphere. Remove accusation. Remove some phrases like you're always, or you never. Remove fear, remove threatening situation. When you want to talk to someone and you are threatening, what happens? The person just bring big defensive wall. I won't let you get at me. That's why before you finish, he's already replying, even when you have not finished talking. Because he's defending himself or herself. The Lord will teach us how to communicate.
Amen.
It's a skill we have to learn. The fact that you're a teacher, or you're a lawyer, or you're a professor, doesn't mean you are good at communicating. You are just good at disseminating information. You can be perfect in disseminating information and be poverty-stricken when it comes to communication. Hallelujah. And finally, like we have had, pray, seek counsel, talk to people who are more mature.
Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Yeah. When I was your foe, still your love fought for me. You have been so good to me. When I felt no worth, you paid it all for me. You have been so kind